it changed me from then, and I'm still, I still feel it. I'm still the changed person.
So you said that your shoot, before your shoot, you didn't love yourself?
Yeah,
How did it change that?
because I could see, because you look at yourself, it's a really unique way to look at yourself. So we never look at pictures of ourselves crying or looking sad, or we don't deliberately take those pictures. And in the process that I do, that's what I'm taking. I'm taking pictures of somebody sitting, dealing with difficult emotions, sitting with them, and then reflecting back to them what is in those pictures. So which will be bravery, courage, vulnerability, empowerment, seeing your own resilience, seeing somebody that needs looking after and knowing it's only you that can do that. Having that space between here, what's going on in here, and your computer screen, is those vital inches are the difference between it being all consuming in here and seeing that seeing somebody who needs your help. Okay. And having that is the catalyst for change.
So you believe that your shoot can do that for women?
Yes, yes. I have. I've got some quotes. Let me just read you a couple of bits of feedback.
No, I want it from you. I'm not looking for what people have maybe said about it, but why do you think, this is you and me talking, why do you think that your shoot, if I came along, how would it change my life? You said it took you from depressed to not depressed. How?
For seeing that I was worthy, that I'm enough, that I deserve to be looked after.
And you saw that through the photos?
Absolutely, yeah.
How would you bring that out of me?
So the challenge for my clients is to dig deep, is to, the more they connect. So I describe it as sitting, when I did my shoot, I wanted to look myself in the eye, and I sat with my most difficult emotions and I photographed what was there. Now that doesn't happen with my clients because there's someone else in the room with them. However, they do access difficult emotions. The more that my clients connect with how they really feel, the more that they express that and talk about it, the more change they get.
Okay.
So it's about being vulnerable, being real, having trust in me to hold them in that space, and being brave, giving it a go.
So basically, this face-to-face shoot, you are aiming to tell the person's life story through the pictures that you take and create them a care plan. Is that what you're saying? This is where this is going?
It's not their life story, it's a journey of emotions. So basically, the galleries generally go pensive, looking away from the camera, thinking, worrying, being anxious about how the shoot is going to go, to starting to talk, starting to express themselves, hitting difficult things that they're talking about, expressing that emotion, crying, maybe getting angry, feeling injustice, all those kinds of things. And then talking through that, different parts of their life, because they can talk about whatever the hell they want to talk about. And then there's always a smiley shot. I might get that at the beginning or I might get that at the end, but I always put it at the end. So the journey always ends with a smiley shot. And then, yes, and then it's then coming out of how they're feeling and ending up okay. So that's the journey. It's an emotional journey, really. And the idea is that they can see that they pass through these difficult emotions and they're all right at the end. And I only picking the images is a challenge in itself, because it's the balance between picking something that is comfortably uncomfortable for them to look at, that was my perception of my images. I thought I'd look at them and feel and hate them, and I was so surprised that I saw my beauty, my inner beauty in there, and my strength and my resilience and my courage, and it was an extraordinary, revealing thing to see. I mean, it makes me very emotional thinking about it, because it was so, it's like this massive door open, and I was like, fuck, I'm not a complete fuck up, I'm not a mess, I just need my own love. And as women, we really struggle with that. We really struggle to talk to ourselves positively, and the whole thing is me, I'm basically holding up a mirror to them and showing them what they don't know about themselves, and it's all good. And through their pain and their vulnerability and their, you know, angst and their anguish is an incredibly strong and powerful woman who, and I want to show them that. I want them to see what I see, what they are, and to give them hope, and to give them an anchor for them to look back on, and to go back constantly to see what is there and who they are, because they'll do the shoot and they would never have pictures like that of themselves taken like that before, and they will probably never do it again. And they are amazingly powerful as a tool for the rest of their lives, and it's there as a reminder then of what they can do, what they can come through, and who they really are, and all the amazing things that they are. I suppose it's about empowerment and allowing themselves to accept themselves for everything that they are, all their shit and all the good stuff too.
What made you think of this? Where did this idea come from?
Well, I wasn't that sure. I'd come to the end. I was approaching the end of some therapy, and I wanted to continue working on myself, but I was tired of talking. So I'd had this idea in my head of a self-portrait shoot where I'd wrap barbed wire around my head and throw some theatrical blood on me and scream and shout and photograph it. But I think what the seed was planted about 3 or 4 years before then, when I got knocked off my bike, and I had a psych assessment, and at the end of the assessment, they basically held up a mirror to me, right? They told me that I had severe PTSD. I had massive anxiety, and I was off the scale I was clinically depressed and off the scale for PTSD, and I had massive anxiety. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And I was like, no. And they're like, yes. And that really, really shocked me. And I think that was the seed, the mirror that they held up to me, that took me so long to admit and to take on board. I think that was the seed. And it was about holding up another mirror to myself. And I wanted to see if, you know, because we always say that, you know, other people have got it worse than me and blah, 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 but it's not helpful for where we are and what's good for us. And I wanted to see if it was as bad as it felt. And through those images, I saw how bad it was for me. Right. And that's what I needed to address, that it doesn't matter what anyone else says or thinks or does. What matters is how I see myself and what I want to give myself. And and it's about being honest, I suppose, and seeing things for as they are, and the power of that honesty, and how revealing that is for change, mental health change and mental well-being. And it was the catalyst for me to look after myself, because it was like, holy fuck, the only person that look after that woman staring back at me is me. And I realized that.
And you've done that since?
Yeah. I mean, it's constant work. It's constant work. You know, every day, right? What am I doing today to look after myself? What do I need? What does my body need? What do I need? Every single day. And I've done that ever since, and I shall do that till the day I die. I shall constantly be looking for things that might help me, little things to add into my life. I mean, I'm doing another face-to-face shoot because I need to see myself again for the last bit of my puzzle. So Yes. I mean, that's, see, for me, I'm really fucking lazy. All right. Really, really lazy. I cannot be asked. If it's too much hassle, I won't do it. And my issue has meant that I can be asked, because I know how important it is. Because if I'm okay, the rest of my life is okay. And it's understanding that that's what self-care does for you. That's what self-love does. It doesn't just, it's not selfish, because of the knock-on and ripple effect it has for everyone else in your life, and everyone else you come across. You're at peace with yourself, you can be much nicer to other people. I mean, you know, because we project so much, and our experiences of the world is just a reflection of what's going on inside of us. So when I'm angry, it's fucking seriously some stuff going on with me I need to address. If something makes me pissed off, I try and look internally.
Yes. And not automatically externalize the blame.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was really good.
and all of these things that you're learning about what I do, how, you know, so for me, my eternal question is, how do I communicate all of this in just, you know, a few lines? You
don't. You just take what I've just recorded, you edit it, and you use it on your face-to-face group, because
you've been recording.
Amazing. You have.
I didn't even know you were recording.
No, you didn't, because I didn't know I was going to record. And once you started talking, I thought, fuck, I've got to record this, because this is her selling her shoot. It's been incredible. I'm going to stop recording now so that we can have a chat.